time for the 20-week cycle, with the exact date expected early March. So the difference with this analysis is that we're expecting price to fall and come down to a 20-week cycle. What's the big difference? Well, we are actually expecting to come down further, okay, than the other analysis, because it is not expected to occur above this trough. It might occur above this trough, might well occur above this trough. It might prove to be a straddled 20-week trough, which means it'll come down, come up again, and then come down for the big fall later. Okay, that's a very viable option. But we are probably expecting to come down a little bit further. Okay, let me plot the projection boxes for the 80-day cycle, and let's see. There we go. All right, so you can see a very different projection box scenario. The first projection box has most likely already been achieved, although price didn't get into the projection box, so it's still plotting it, as you can see. It's still saying I was expecting price to get up to 1320, but it hasn't got there, and time's running out. So now I'm expecting it to come down to this area over here. What does it mean when Sentient Trader plots a big projection box? It means that the cyclic picture is not very clear. Okay, so would I trade this short move? Personally, on an end-of-day basis, I would say no, because although I am expecting a move downwards, I'm not sure how far down it's going, and this box over here is pretty big. That's a pretty big target sort of area, and unless I really want to be sort of jumping in and out of the market, yeah, I think I might give this one a bit of a skip. The next move down will clarify, as every move does. Every cyclic move clarifies the bigger picture. So how would we know, if you do decide to trade this next move down, how would we know when to trade? How would we know when the move down has started? Well, of course, we look at our FLDs. Okay, and you know, we can get a list of FLDs. Where are we today? Wednesday, 18th of January. The 20-day FLD for today, based on the low price, which is what you use to enter a short trade, is 1274. If today the market drops below 1274, then possibly that peak has formed. Okay, we can look ahead and we can say if next week the 40-day FLD is below 1260, if price is below 1267 Monday next week. Is that Monday? Yes, that's Monday next week. If price is below it's below 1267 Monday next week, then that peak has come in and the market is moving down to form its trough. The next move should be interesting. I suspect it's going to be a very sharp and quick move, but that's a personal opinion. Let's see what happens. Question from Jose. If we use the dominant cycle filter, the long-term phasing will affect trading, won't it? Yes, Jose. The dominant cycle filter has to do with the sentient trading methodology. If you're using the sentient trading methodology, what happens is you decide what is a dominant cycle, and needless to say, let's go and look at the big picture here. You know, the dominant cycle, I think we can say very clearly, is the if you're not a purist, and if you're willing to put a 6-year cycle into your nominal model, then I think we can say very, very easily that the dominant cycle, in other words, it's visually dominant, it just jumps out at you, is the 6-year cycle, right? So by applying a 6-year cycle filter, all that does is it prevents you from entering trades in the fastest part of the cyclic move. So when the cycle is approaching a peak over here, then it will take both long and short trades. When it's approaching a trough, it will take both short and long trades because it's expecting that trough. But the sort of hot spot, the really fast move right in the middle, it will only take short trades on the downside and long trades on the upside. In fact, we have a new We have a new version that we're going to be releasing. I think it's in the version that's coming out in February, which has a slightly more advanced dominant cycle filter, which is a better process. So that's something to look forward to. Okay. A question from Dave: do the large number of dojis or semi-dojis that have recently appeared have any impact on your analysis? No, although personally I think candlestick analysis is very powerful, and I use it personally for my trading. Sentient Trader is designed as a tool which performs Hurst analysis and gives you trading recommendations on the basis of Hurst, okay, and Hurst's trading methodology. Hurst never said anything about candlestick patterns or the candlestick format, the bar names and so on. So Sentient Trader itself doesn't make any trading decisions on the basis of those dojis. And you can see recently, there's a great one, that a huge long tail right up at the top. It really looks like the kind of bar you expect before a turn down. So Sentient Trader won't do any of that, but I most certainly do, and we strongly encourage people working with Sentient Trader, of course, to use Sentient Trader as a tool in their armory and to look at things like candlestick patterns. So Sentient Trader might be recommending a trade. I've turned trading off on this chart actually, so it's not recommending any trades, but it might be recommending a trade, but then you would use things like candlestick patterns or oscillators or RSI, relative strengths, or my favorite, stochastics. I'm quite keen on stochastics. You would use stochastics in conjunction with the information you're getting from Sentient Trader to make a really sensible, informed trading decision. And obviously, we really encourage that. There are some people I know who trade entirely on the basis of Hurst's methodology and don't look at anything else. That's fine. That's great for them. But we strongly encourage using every tool you can to beat the markets. And there's a place for many of those tools. So certainly, and also something we'll be talking about quite a lot next week when it comes to Hurst signals. Hurst signals, of course, generate trading signals, but every trading signal has to be looked at in the context of other things and incorporated into your trading methodology. Let me quickly show you, just as a matter of interest, what our Hurst trading signals are saying at the moment about the analysis that I've just shown you. If I log into my Hurst signals, we've got the S&P 500, and if I look at the 40-day cycle, the 40-day cycle presents the long-term chart, okay, this there you can see the signals are working on the basis of the 54-month cycle having occurred on the 4th of October. You might say, why haven't I changed that when I think that there are possible alternates? We don't change it because in fact we think that this is the most likely alternate at the moment. Last year I thought it was the less likely, but I'm beginning to get convinced that this is what's happening. This is what's playing out in the market. So that's the long-term picture. And then, of course, if we look at the shorter-term cycles, we can see how the shorter cycles are panning out, and you can see that that this 20-day cycle, the signals chart is expecting it to come down, to give us a move down to about 1270, and there it's got some recommended trades for that. Actually, for the next move. Where are we? Yeah, for the next move, because it's already saying you're too late for this move down. You should have got in at midnight last night or something. And we can look at the 5-day cycle, and there you can see the 5-day cycle, of course, has the same analysis, and it reckons that the market is still moving down. You've got crossed projection boxes there, which is a big danger sign. Stay clear of the market when you get that. Anyway, this is the kind of thing we'll be talking about next week in our Hurst Signals chat. And there is the 2-day cycle, and so on and so forth. We can go all the way and have a look at the 5-hour cycle on the S&P 500. So you can see what's happened to the S&P 500 since we started. What time was this chart generated? It was generated at 9 a.m. Goodness knows where that is in the world. Where is that? 9 a.m. That's Chicago, I guess. Is it 9 a.m. in Chicago? So that was 4 minutes ago. And as you can see, the markets opened at when did they open? Just about half an hour ago. And as you can see, the market has been coming down fairly strongly. Of course, which this Hurst signals chart has been projecting since 6 o'clock this morning. It's been projecting the move down, and it's now waiting for a bit of a turn up. Okay, so it's 8 a.m. It's 8 a.m. where, David? Luckily, her signals charts have a time zone on them, UTC -5, so we don't have to say where it is. Oh, it's at 8 a.m. in Chicago. Okay, so I don't know where this data is coming from. UTC 5 should be Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so it's New York. Okay, fine. So this particular workspace is receiving data with that timestamp on it, with that time zone. Okay. Anyway, time zones confuse me, so it's best that we just consider it UTC -5. And here you can see that chart is just updated. Anyway, let's not look at signals, because signals we'll be talking about next week. But that brings to an end. What I thought we'd do today is take a look at what's happening in the markets and have a discussion about that 4th of October trough, which is great dinner party conversation, by the way. So, I hope that you have enjoyed being with me. I have enjoyed your company. I have enjoyed talking about cycles in the market and Sentient Trader again. And I wish you all the best for our new year, 2012. And thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your interest in Sentient Trader and in Hurst cycles. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. Next week we will be talking about the same kind of thing, but it will be a bit lighter. We're talking about Hurst signals, and we're going to be exploring Hurst signals and discussing ways of working with Hurst signals. I'm going to be answering lots of questions that have come in from the very fast-growing group of people that are using Hurst signals. So I'm going to be answering as many questions as I can. We have had a lot of emails about Hurst signals. So and if you don't have Hurst signals, you'd like to, you really must get involved. If you are a user of Sentient Trader, then there is a Hurst Signals special offer that we have for you as a Sentient Trader user. So make sure you email us about that. There we go, Paul. I'm not sure which one that is. But thank you very much. Thank you for all your comments, everybody.